successful business owner returns from a dream vacation only to be met with a hail of gunfire.
The last thing in his mind is that somebody's attempting to kill him.
His valued employee may be victim number 2.
She's seemingly fallen off the face of the earth.
But did he trust the wrong person?
Somebody had access to the house. Somebody he trusted.
As the deadly plot unravels, alliances shift.
Are they going to stay loyal and true to each other, or now is it all about me?
Where point does blood loyalty stop and doing the right thing start?
And investigators discover how one crime plants the seeds of another.
She said, your grandfather's not going to be here much longer. And I said, what do you mean?
Rumors of a twisted seduction surface.
She's agreeing to have a sexual relationship with someone to be bailed out.
I didn't really know how to take all that. Shocker to me.
That is a level of sociopathy that is fortunately not too common.
This wasn't brutal. This was just sick.
January 12th, 2004. It's late afternoon in Robeson County, North Carolina, when dispatch receives a frantic 911 call reporting shots fired outside a local bus company. Sheriff's deputies and paramedics race to the scene.
This crime occurred in a rural area. It's so far out there that by the time the officers responded out there, the suspects were already gone.
First responders arrive at the scene to find the owner of the bus company sitting in his car, which is now riddled with bullet holes. He's visibly shaken, but fortunately, only his hand seems to be injured.
He just came back from his vacation. The last thing in his mind is that somebody's attempting to kill him.
First thing you want to do is secure the scene. And then investigators will look for any shell casings, projectiles, skid marks from a vehicle. See if there's any witnesses nearby. Anybody have any outside cameras?
Authorities find a scattering of shotgun pellets that have pierced the vehicle and 3 plastic shell casings.
You want to get a statement from the victim, get the story, and even develop a timeline around the situation.
The victim says he goes on vacation. After flying back into Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, he makes his drive back home to Lumberton. Exiting his vehicle, he hears gunshots. He immediately falls back into the vehicle.
They're just rolling by and they're firing shots. They see a target and they're firing shots at the target. There's an attempted murder here.
The shooter sped off, and that's when the owner of the bus company says he managed to dial 911.
He said it sounded like a shotgun that caused his injuries, but he was not able to see everything and everyone that was involved in that.
The victim did not see the shooter and claims he has no idea who might want him dead.
Back in 2004, that area was known for a lot of robberies, drugs, breaking into residents, homicides.
It's very common in the drug trade to have drive-by shootings into the car of someone who's dealing drugs.
A quick background check tells investigators that the bus company owner's record is clean.
There was no evidence he was involved in drugs. He did not appear to be involved in any type of criminal activity.
However, investigators don't believe this was just a random act of violence.
He was shot while getting out of his car. What made sense was it was somebody who knew his everyday activities, knew where he lived, when he would be pulling into his driveway, that sort of thing.
Once the victim is transported to the hospital, the deputies check the bus company building itself to look for possible signs of a robbery. However, the door is locked and there are no signs of forced entry.
When there's no robbery attempt, there's no break-in attempt, that really, again, focus you back at the victim. Who in this victim's inner circle would gain if this victim should suddenly die?
next morning, the recovering owner of the bus company calls investigators in a panic. He is concerned about his employee, 38-year-old Judy Naylor. He hasn't been able to reach her for several days.
He went on vacation and left her with the business. He entrusted her.
This is someone he looks to run his business, and yet after he is shot, nobody can get in touch with her.
Her boss is worried that whoever shot at him may have come for Judy Naylor, too.
Judy was born and raised in the Cumberland County, Robeson County area. Judy was the older of two siblings. Her younger brother, Ken,
Was in her teens.
I know Willie, my grandfather, Papa Willie, he had a drinking problem. And he could tell it was kind of a conflicting environment for her growing up. Definitely after the divorce.
I think she had somewhat of a troubled background. I know that her mother at times had some mental health issues.
Eventually, Judy's mother, Catherine, remarried a man named James Croxton, and Judy decided to leave home in search of independence.
She didn't graduate high school. She dropped out at 17. She had me at 19. My dad was 24. He was in the Air Force. They met at a party in Fayetteville. And obviously, hit it off. And, that's when that came about.
But Judy and Andrew San Miguel's marriage didn't last long.
They separated when I was 2. I lived with my dad at a younger age. And my mom only had me during the summer. My dad lived rough. It wasn't a very good environment. He finally told me to go stay with my mom. And I was happy. My mom was very supportive, playing sports in school. She was always there cheering me on.
Judy worked hard to provide for her family, building what would ultimately become a decades-long career in the automotive industry.
She wanted to do better for me than what she had. She handled, financing and accounts. And I would say, not graduating high school, my mom really accomplished a lot.
Although Judy left home at an early age, over the years, her mother Catherine and her stepfather became very involved in raising Michael.
During the summer, I would go to work with my grandfather, James Croxton. He was a big part of my life. He was a plumber, and he would take me to work with him. He showed me a lot. Anytime Mom was leaving a relationship or in between relationships, however you want to call it, we stayed there. So we were real close.
In 2002, Michael graduated high school and moved away to start his own family. It was around that time that Judy began dating 47-year-old Donald Lee McPhail.
Donald grew up in Lumber Bridge area.
She felt that Donald was her soulmate and her true love.
After 6 months, Judy and Donald married. And in 2003, Judy was hired as an office manager at a bus company business in Lumberton, North Carolina.
The bookkeeper.
When she started working there, I felt, I was happy for her.
But after 4 months in her new role, that world is turned upside down on January 12th, 2004, when a drive-by shooting nearly kills Judy's boss, and Judy herself is nowhere to be found.
After this happens to him, he nor anyone else can get in touch with Judy.
They put out a bolo for Judy Naylor, which is be on the lookout. You got to worry, whoever pulled the trigger, they could cause more damage now.
Coming up, detectives learn Judy Naylor isn't the only thing that's vanished.
He finds his shotgun missing. Somebody had access to the house. Somebody he trusted.
Authorities in rural Robeson County, North Carolina, are investigating the attempted murder of a successful bus company owner when they discover his bookkeeper, Judy Naylor, is missing.
Nobody can get in touch with Judy. For a couple of days, she's seemingly fallen off the face of the earth.
The next day, police receive another frantic phone call from the victim to report something else is missing.
He finds his shotgun missing, and the weapon used to shoot at him is a shotgun.
And that's not all.
He finds out that business checks have been stolen, and he finds no forced entry into his office at his apartment upstairs.
For investigators, that can only mean one thing.
Somebody had access to the house. Somebody he trusted.
The only people that had access to where the shotgun was at was going to be people that worked there in the business. Judy is keeping the books for him, so she obviously has access. She works there, so she has access to the shotgun and other property that's there inside the business.
He then begins looking at his bank account. He finds that there's been 21 checks, company checks written out to Judy and her husband, Donald, while he was out of the country.
Judy's boss turns over company bank statements to investigators for them to study.
They've been written to Judy and her husband on his account, totaling $19,000.
That certainly was an important fact, but there was a lot more investigating to do because that was related to the shooting or not.
Investigators try to track down a home address for Judy and Donald McPhail, but there's a problem.
They're living with either her mother, her father. They're bouncing around from houses, so there's no steady electricity is in my name here, I get mail here type thing.
While investigators dig deeper into Judy's background, they quickly discover this unassuming bookkeeper has had her fair share of trouble.
When looking at her criminal record, she had some property crime and drug crime that dated back 10 or so years before this incident happened.
My mom had a crack addiction, and it was something I grew up with, so I was exposed to it.
I did look at the records. She had a cocaine problem, and drug problems are frequently a motivation for theft.
Judy's family members tell detectives that her history of bad behavior created a rift long ago.
She had a history of breaking into her own mother and father's house, stealing their jewelry, pawning their jewelry.
The relationship with her family appeared to be strained because of how Judy treated Catherine, her mother. Judy had always had a rocky relationship with her mother, from all accounts. There have been reports of physical assaults on her mother, and because of her drug habits, and because of her stealing from the family.
I was a teenager when I realized, what she was doing. It had been an addiction that she'd kind of hid most of my life, or tried to hide. She was battling demons, and, of course we didn't talk about it, didn't bring it up.
As sheriff's investigators study Judy's file, one recent incident stands out.
She allegedly stole $7,000 in jewelry from her stepfather. Theft was reported to have taken place on December 30th, 2003.
She was arrested, but charges eventually were dropped because her mother, Catherine, and her stepfather, James, didn't want to pursue charges.
The theft of the checks, the writing of the forged checks, took place like in the first week or so of January 2004, shortly before the bus company owner came back from vacation.
When you have that drug issue fueling you, there's no telling what a person is subject to do. Judy Naylor had access to the accounts, leads Lumberton PD, to realize she's been forging the checks and cashing them.
He is stunned.
I'm sure he felt extremely betrayed because he hired her under good faith, thinking that she was going to do the right thing for him. And I'm sure it kind of caught him really off guard.
Judy is his bookkeeper, someone who is close to him, and it starts to be a lot of circumstantial evidence that Judy and her husband Donald were involved in his shooting. She's disappeared after the crime. we as investigators needed to talk with her.
2 weeks after the drive-by shooting, the statewide search for Judy Naylor leads to an area motel.
January 26, 2004, a Motel 6 employee called the Robeson County Sheriff's Office in reference to a disturbance in one of the rooms. Upon arrival, deputies identified the two people involved in the disturbance as Judy Naylor and Donald McPhail. They signed into a hotel with their names. I mean, that wasn't the smartest move to make if you're on the run.
When deputies enter the room, they find Judy is extremely sick.
She's tried to harm herself, kill herself, by drinking antifreeze.
There's no reason for antifreeze to be in a motel room, so it's either one or both of them were thinking about committing suicide.
Coming up, paramedics race to save Judy's life, while authorities demand answers from Donald McPhail.
The motive clearly was money. They got desperate, and then I guess they felt they couldn't stop.
And Judy's son receives some troubling news.
I was out of town at the time, and my grandmother called me crying.
January 26th, 2004. Investigators with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office locate Judy Naylor and her husband, Donald McPhail, at a rundown motel in Robeson County. Donald is taken in for questioning, while Judy is rushed to the hospital after consuming antifreeze.
I was out of town working in Atlanta at the time, and my grandmother called me crying. My mother was in the hospital. I don't know if they were on a drug binge and, they were ready to end it. I don't know what their thoughts were.
We interviewed Donald. He goes ahead and gives a statement to law enforcement. In that statement, he's very forthcoming.
Donald admits to his involvement in the attempted murder of Judy's boss. He admits to stealing the gun that pulled the trigger that almost killed the victim.
On the morning of January 12th, 2004, Donald says Judy contacted the airline to make sure her boss's flight was arriving on time.
They stole a shotgun from her boss's apartment at his business. They went down to Myrtle Beach and watched him load his car to drive back to Lumberton, and they followed him back to Lumberton.
As soon as he parked his car, Judy drove past him while Donald fired a volley of shots.
The husband fired the shotgun from the back seat of their car and hit him. 1.5 miles down the road, Donald got out and hid the gun near a guardrail.
It's attempted murder, so it's not like he's going to be going to prison for life. So his best course of action is to be as cooperative as possible with them.
Sheriff's investigators recover the stolen 12-gauge shotgun in the weeds beside the highway.
It appeared to be an accurate representation of what he and Judy did because he implicated himself. He didn't try to put all the blame on her. He said this was a shared idea. Well, when someone is that forthcoming, it can be a mitigating factor that can be used in sentencing and so forth.
4 days after Donald's arrest, Judy Naylor's condition has improved enough that she's allowed to leave the hospital. Deputies immediately bring her to the Robeson County Sheriff's Office for an interview.
Judy confessed pretty quickly to the attempted murder of her boss at the bus company. She said that she started writing checks for herself and for her husband, Donald McPhail, while her boss was on vacation. But the boss was coming home and they realized he's going to miss that money. The motive clearly was money. She was stealing in order to pay for the drugs.
In order to keep from going to jail over the embezzlement, her and Donald decided to kill him.
I'm not sure how much they thought through what they were doing. It didn't really feel very well planned. If he had died, the investigators probably would have noticed the checks written to Judy Naylor and to Donald McPhail and figured that there's motive for a crime right there and come looking for them.
They charge both Judy and her husband, Donald McPhail, with attempted first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, larceny of a firearm, and the fraud.
Despite her initial confession, Judy pleads not guilty to the charges. The court grants bail, but with no one to pay it, February 7th, 2004, only a week after Judy's incarceration, tragedy strikes again when her mother, Catherine Croxton, dies unexpectedly.
Grandma Kathy had an aneurysm in her head. After my grandmother passed, I would check on my grandfather. He had onset Alzheimer's, and he was having trouble paying bills, and so I would come over there to help him.
Soon after that, Judy's stepfather, her now deceased mother's husband, James Croxton, began visiting her in jail. In the months after Catherine's death, James Croxton eventually received her life insurance proceeds, which was approximately $43,000. Judy became aware of this, and she began trying to encourage James to bail her out of jail while she was awaiting trial. And in May of 2004, he did put up approximately $4,500 to get her out of jail.
Judy ended up moving in with James in his residence out in Hope Mills.
While Judy's husband, Donald McPhail, remains behind bars at the Robeson County Jail, Judy enjoys life as a relatively free woman in her stepfather's home. Only Judy's life isn't destined to stay peaceful for long.
On November 14th, 2004, Judy Naylor called 911 to report that when she tried to get James Croxton up for breakfast, that he was unresponsive in bed and she couldn't wake him up.
She sounded distraught on that 911 call. She was sobbing. She was upset. She explained that she just found him this way, that he didn't appear to be breathing.
Paramedics race to the scene, but it's too late.
It appeared that he had died while he was sleeping.
Judy says that her 62-year-old stepfather had been in poor health.
She said that he had had several cardiac events. There were no injuries. There was no obvious trauma to the body.
Less than an hour later, as medical personnel are preparing to transport the body from the home, one phone call stops everything.
Call is placed to the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office to the watch commander from Judy's stepmother, Donna Naylor.
Donna Naylor is married to Judy's father, Willie. She claims to have information about James Croxton's death.
The EMS were still there on the scene. Apparently what had happened went one, and that neighbor had called Donna, which then caused Donna to call the sheriff's office. Donna said, "You need to look at Judy. She's responsible for this."
She said if James Croxton was deceased, that Judy Naylor did it.
But it was very unusual that they get this type of call from a relative.
Donna quickly fills detectives in on Judy's relationship with her stepfather, James.
Donna told him that Judy put herself in a position to take advantage of Mr. Croxton. She had moved in with James Croxton, that she had lived rent-free, that she had had an intimate relationship with him, bragged that that intimate relationship was in her mother's bed. This was very troubling and surprising to hear. Not only is she making this type of arrangement where she's agreeing to have a sexual relationship with someone in order to be bailed out and live with them, but this is her stepfather.
When deputies in Cumberland County run a background check on Judy Naylor, they discover she is currently awaiting trial for the attempted murder of her former boss.
We found out that Judy was on bond from the Robeson County Detention Center. It brings up a lot of red flags.
Authorities immediately lock down the home as a possible crime scene and work to preserve any evidence.
They wanted the body preserved in the same position and wanted somebody to keep their eyes on Judy the entire time. Investigators with the sheriff's office confronted Judy with Donna's allegations. Her demeanor did not change. She simply denied that allegation and was cooperative.
Right away, Judy gives investigators permission to search the home. They study James Croxton's body before moving to other areas of the residence.
They don't find trauma or anything like that, but what they do find is printed material from a computer that shows that somebody was researching autopsies, death investigations, poisoning. There was sample copies of wills around.
They also found documents that had James Croxton's signatures traced over several times, as if someone was practicing signatures or something like that. So this was all very suspicious.
Coming up, to catch a killer, family secrets must be revealed.
Where point does blood loyalty stop and doing the right thing start?
He said that she referred to her plan to kill
Most. The people that she thinks aren't going to ever give me up.
Less than a year after making bail for the attempted murder of her former boss in Robeson County, North Carolina, Judy Naylor finds herself at the epicenter of an even more heinous crime when her stepfather and alleged lover, 62-year-old James Croxton, is found dead in a neighboring county.
If she did indeed seduce her stepfather and then kill him, that is a level of sociopathy that is not too common.
An autopsy was performed on November 15th. There did not appear to be a heart attack, a stroke, a simple explanation like that for Mr. Croxton's death. At this point, his death was undetermined. There was more testing that needed to be done.
In the meantime, Judy's stepmother, Donna Naylor, hands over some damning information to detectives.
About a week after Mr. Croxton is found deceased in his home, we get a break in the case. Judy's brother, Kenneth, was in the Department of Corrections. He had wrote letters to Donna. And in these letters, he talks about how Judy was planning to kill Mr. Croxton. Judy referred to her plan to kill Mr. Croxton as the remodeling job.
She had made it known to Kenneth that the remodeling job was how she described the killing of James. 2 days before James is killed, she writes a letter to Kenneth and tells Kenneth, I can't take it anymore. The remodeling job is going to happen this week. He gets the letter after James is dead, and Kenneth and Donna never believed that Judy was capable of doing it.
After reading the incriminating letters, investigators sit down with Kenneth Naylor.
Kenneth Naylor was serving a kind of a long prison sentence for robbery and being a habitual felon.
According to Kenneth, Judy communicated a lot with her brother in prison.
Judy told him that the reason that she wanted to get rid of James Croxton was because she wanted to go ahead and get her mother's insurance money.
She had made it known to Kenneth that she has chemicals that she's going to use. She tells Kenny in a few months he's going. I did some research, it's painless, odorless, put you to sleep.
19 days after the death of his grandfather, Judy's son Michael also reaches out to detectives.
It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. At the time, I felt like I didn't really have a choice in the matter. My mom kind of put me in a situation where, I ultimately had to say something.
Michael tells detectives only a week before James's death, Judy had made an unsettling comment.
She said, your grandfather's not going to be here much longer. And I said, what do you mean? And she went back in the back room, and she reached up closet and pulled out a box, and inside the box was a brown bottle. And she showed it to me. I said, chloroform. She's like, do you know what this is? I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's the stuff you see in movies and TV shows. They put on a rag and, they knock people out. I was like, what are you doing with that? And she's like, oh, don't worry about it. And she put it back up. I left the house scared. Didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Should I take it seriously? So I left. A week or two later, I got the phone call. Your grandfather's dead. And immediately, I was like, holy shit, she killed him.
Kenneth and Michael, too, when she told him about some of the plans and the chloroform, both of these folks saying, nah, she's not serious about this thing. She's not going to do that. She is confiding in the people that she trusts the most. People that she thinks aren't going to ever give me up.
What point does blood loyalty stop and doing the right thing start?
Armed with this new information, the medical examiner runs more tests.
Approximately a month later, they came back and told us that not only was chloroform present, that it was present in a fatal amount. They also found 2 small puncture wounds in one of his arms, and at that point, the death was ruled as a homicide.
From there, detectives follow the money.
We knew that the motive was going to be financial gain. So that's why we started looking at her financial records, James Croxton financial records.
What they discovered is that in October 5th of 2004, James Croxton's credit card had been used to purchase chloroform and succinylcholine. We knew that those products were delivered by UPS to the home of Judy and James Croxton just a couple of weeks before his death on November 14th.
Investigators also revisit the legal documents found in James's home.
They found out August of 2004, he changed a will to basically give all of his assets, all of his money, and his insurance to Judy and make her the executor of the will.
I directed one of my homicide guys to find the notary that notarized this. And that happens to be another relative of Judy Nail that lives in South Carolina. We found evidence of an email from the notary to Judy with sample signatures. And then Judy wrote those signatures on the will as witnesses. I had detectives go to South Carolina, they interviewed the witnesses, and the witnesses admit, I did not sign that.
Faced with the evidence, the notary comes clean. She claims she was just trying to do Judy and James a favor.
She told us the truth, that she did notarize that document and that there was no witnesses, but she said she didn't know what was happening.
As for James's signature, investigators suspect Judy forged it while out on bail in August of 2004.
For at least 3 months, 3+ months, this is in the works.
She goes online and she buys the poison. And then in November, she uses the poison.
They put him out so Judy could then put the chloroform on a rag and just stand over his face with it. And he wouldn't be able to move, paralyzed.
For the second time in less than a year, Judy Naylor is arrested for her role in an alleged murder plot.
She outlined her plans ahead of time. You set out to kill somebody and then you do it. And she did that. This, by definition, is first-degree murder.
Coming up, Judy tells her side of the story.
When you've got 2 people who are on drugs, your minds don't work well together.
That she was coerced, that she threatened, this was not her idea.
Because of the evilness of the case, it qualified for the death penalty.
In a shocking turn of events, while awaiting trial for the attempted murder of her boss in North Carolina, Judy Naylor is charged with the murder of her
I didn't really know how to take all that and, accept it. Because James Croxton, I looked up to him.
Judy was arrested, and she lawyered up and would not talk to us.
While Judy awaits trial for the murder of James Croxton, her husband, Donald McPhail, has his day in court for the embezzlement and attempted murder of Judy's boss a year earlier.
Donald McPhail actually pled guilty to attempted first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, larceny of a firearm, fraud, and Donald McPhail received 10 to 13 years in prison.
In April 2005, Judy heads to court for her role in the same crime.
The theory that she proceeded with at trial was to try to blame it all on Donald, that she was coerced, that she was threatened, this was not her idea.
On April 27, 2005, Judy is convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and forgery. She is acquitted of the attempted murder of her boss.
Judy received a 16 to 20-year sentence for her role in the crimes, I guess because she didn't pull the trigger.
To this day, Judy claims she and Donald were not in their right minds.
As far as my former boss is concerned, that was all about drugs. At that point in time, I had been on drugs from probably real strong, probably from whenever I met Donald Lee. And when you've got two people who are on drugs, your minds don't work well together. There was periods of time when I went as many as 4 to 5 days at a time with no sleep whatsoever. So to tell you that I was in the right state of mind, or that I was thinking clearly at all with no sleep and with drugs in my system, I can't.
On April 2nd, 2007, Judy is back in court, this time for the murder of James Croxton.
To avoid possibly getting the death penalty, she chose to plead guilty to first-degree murder, which has a mandatory sentence of life in prison.
She received a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. This sentence not even to begin until after the 16 or 20-year sentence that she had received for the shooting.
While Judy admits to his murder, she still denies that she had
sex with Mr. Croxton. It wasn't until my mother died that he actually revealed his true feelings to me, and that was that he had been in love with me since the first time that he danced with me when I was 17. Whenever we would talk from county jail and he was revealing all this to me, I found the perfect opportunity, of course, to play on those feelings and reciprocate on his feelings to get bonded out of jail. So I led Mr. Croxton to believe that I could be his girlfriend. I never slept with the man, and that was just something I could not do.
Those close to the case believe Judy's need for money to fuel her addiction led her to do the unthinkable twice.
She had manipulated this whole situation, and her punishment was just and deserving, and Judy is where she needs to be.
I have a lot of regret and a lot of remorse for both of my crimes. Do I think that the time that I got was just? Of course it was. I took another man's life.
I didn't think my mother was capable of that, of doing something like that. Sorry things happened the way they did. Wish things would have been different.
He was an officer in the Navy serving his country. She was his charismatic wife holding down the fort.
They really looked like the perfect military family. They had a lovely home. They had 2 young children.
Until this Navy man meets a tragic fate on the night of his return from deployment.
It was a bloody scene, and his wedding band on his left hand was covered in blood.
At first, all clues point to a chance encounter.
You would think it was a random act. The story of the robbery gone bad.
But appearances can be deceiving.
She was still a party girl. It didn't matter that she had 2 children at home.
The investigation would reveal a deadly romance built on fantasy.
His MySpace account talks about how he has all this money. He's a famous photographer, filmmaker.
He was none of the things that he said he was.
At the center of this twisted plot is a stunning blend of lies, lust, and greed.
She was spending exorbitant amounts of money.
It was never enough. You can never have enough.
You're a manipulative person. No, I am not.
She thought she was going to get away with this.
What did she ask you to do? She asked me to take him out.
Newport News, Virginia, 2007.
Newport News, Virginia is in close proximity to Norfolk, Virginia. Naval Station Norfolk is the largest Navy base in the world.
It has a large military population, specifically sailors and naval personnel assigned to the surrounding bases.
At just after 6 a.m. on April 29th, local authorities receive a call that one of those sailors may be in peril.
Newport News Police and Fire. Hi, I'm fit to see if my husband's gotten into an accident or something in Newport News.
The 911 caller, 32-year-old Cat Voss, reports that her 30-year-old husband, Navy Ensign Corey Voss, didn't come home the night before.
She basically gives them the information about how she sent him to the ATM the night prior to get money so that she could have money to give the kids for their lunches the next day at school. And he never returned.
She had contacted the ship and hospitals looking for him.
She was very worried and nervous because this...
Within hours of filing the missing persons report, another 911 call comes in. This time from a woman at an area strip mall just down the road from the Voss home.
A woman who was working at a doctor's office actually was walking to work from her parked car and saw a man slumped over in the driver's seat of his truck.
She called it in because it was a suspicious vehicle, and this man needed help immediately.
When the police came, they realized that it matched the description of the vehicle that Kat had reported missing earlier that day.
He was discovered deceased in his vehicle, and at this point, it's deemed a homicide investigation.
The victim also matches the physical description of Corey Voss. Police run the license plate number, and the truck belongs to Corey. When homicide detectives arrive, they quickly establish the cause of death.
They discovered that Corey had been shot multiple times. It was a very graphic crime scene.
He had been shot 5 times in the abdomen, chest, and arm. It was a bloody scene, and the wedding band on his left hand was covered in blood.
For something like this to happen to an active service member was especially upsetting and shocking to absolutely everybody.
At first glance, investigators wonder if robbery could be in play.
Normally, people that are, trying to commit a robbery or trying to get in and out very quickly, drawing as little attention as possible to them. So it seemed like a bit of overkill for just a random robbery. Why was he shot so many times? All those are red flags to investigators where we have to dig deeper into the background of everyone who's involved in Corey's life.
Corey Voss was born in 1977 in the blue-collar town of Berwyn, Illinois.
Corey Voss grew up in a really loving, close-knit family. but he had been kind of a wild young man. His mother had been a little concerned because he hung out with the wrong crowd, but she always had confidence that Corey would find himself and straighten himself out.
When he turned 18, Corey dropped out of high school, but he was determined to make his family proud and began taking steps towards a career in the military.
He took a test for getting into like the military trade, scored really well, and that's when he was like, okay, I'll get my GED, and I'm gonna go and see how far I can get.
It was really where he belonged.
After his training was complete, Corey was stationed at Naval Station Norfolk in Norfolk, Virginia.
Corey's superiors saw a lot of potential in him, and while he was there, they helped him get his degree, his 4-year degree.
In 1999, with Corey's naval career sailing strong, his personal life caught wind as well.
Corey Voss goes out with his friends for a regular night of having fun, and there he meets Kat Wiggins, who's also out that night partying with her friends. She was curvaceous and blonde and really got the attention of men easily because she was super outgoing, a very bubbly personality. She was the life of the party.
For Corey, 24-year-old Kat's alluring accent was also a draw.
She told Corey that she was raised in the Ukraine by a Ukrainian father and American mother, and then moved back to the States in Newport News. She was in the 8th or 9th grade.
Corey was completely smitten with her, and those two really hit it off that night.
Just 3 months into their whirlwind relationship, Kat revealed some exciting news to Corey.
Kat was pregnant, and she was pregnant with Corey's child.
Ready to start a family, Kat gave birth to their daughter Casey in 2000. And 1 year later, the couple welcomed a son, Corey Jr.
They really looked like the perfect military family. They had a lovely home. They had 2 young children.
In 2005, Corey earned his commission as an officer, and he did his best to give his wife the American lifestyle she envisioned.
They had a middle class to a fairly well-off lifestyle for Newport News, where, she didn't have to work. They lived in a nicer part of town. They seemed to be comfortable financially.
Corey made the most of his time at home, knowing that his next deployment was always just around the corner.
He was a great father. He did everything for us, He took us to places, and he played sports with me. He played baseball.
My first memory was riding bikes with him. He would take me and my brother outdoors and go on trails. That was his thing. He just always wanted to take me and my brother and go outdoors and just do whatever we could.
However, duty called once again in January of 2007. Corey left several months later. When Corey returned from overseas, his family was there to greet him. Kat even prepared a romantic dinner on April 28th for his first night home.
Corey is just home from deployment, and he and Kat are spending time at home, candlelight dinner. They'd had a nice dinner. It was time for bed, and Kat realized that she didn't have money for the children's lunches, and so she sent her husband to the ATM right down the road to get money.
Only Corey never returned. By 6 a.m., Kat had reported her husband missing. A few hours later, Norfolk police officers identified Corey's body in the front seat of his pickup truck.
The logical assumption would be that he had been shot in the commission of a robbery since he had gone to the ATM the night before.
Just based on that, you would think it was a random act. The story of the robbery gone bad sounded plausible.
We're looking for obvious things, any damage. There's an indication of any sort of fight in the vehicle, any sort of struggle in the vehicle, and whether anything was stolen.
While no interior items seem to be out of place, authorities note that the truck's tailgate is down and its front left hubcap is missing.
We needed to determine what the motive was for this killing, and we needed to catch his killer, or killers.
Coming up, having avoided danger on the high seas, had Corey come home only to fall victim to a random robbery.
You see an unknown individual dressed in all black enter Corey's truck from the passenger side and point a weapon at him.
Or was this sailor already behind enemy lines?
It's overkill, it's personal. The motive is not simply a robbery.
After finding 30-year-old Corey Voss shot to death in his pickup truck, detectives with the Newport News Police Department suspect that the Virginia-based Navy officer may have been the victim of a robbery gone awry. Now they face the difficult task of notifying Corey's wife, Kat, of his death.
Authorities go to her home to inform her that they have found her husband and that he was dead. And Kat, she instantly was hysterical and emotional and crying at the hospital.
Kat is given time to collect herself. Eventually, she recounts the events leading up to Corey's disappearance.
Corey Voss had just returned from a deployment aboard the USS Elrod. He and Kat had had a romantic dinner. Kids were in bed. Corey had left about 11 o'clock that evening to go to the ATM to withdraw some money for the kids' lunch, and then he did not come back home.
Kat says she became very worried when she awoke and realized Corey still hadn't returned home.
Kat contacts the ship to see if he may have returned for any reason. She also contacted the local hospitals, and as well as Newport News Police Department to ascertain if anyone had been involved in a traffic accident, of which Newport News Police Department told her that they had had no traffic accidents that evening. So Kat reports him as missing.
News of the sailor's death hits Corey's two young kids the hardest.
They take me and my brother, into our rooms and kind of just tell us, and it was the worst experience ever. Dropped to the floor, couldn't even really comprehend at that age. That they're gone.
I think it's something that you would see in a movie, or just something that doesn't seem real.
Investigators' next move is to notify the naval station that one of their own has been killed. And word spreads like wildfire.
When one of our Navy members are involved in some sort of crime or a victim of some sort of crime, NCIS is usually assigned to that local police department to assist them.
It was obviously on the news, in the media, and, to have an active duty naval member killed, and obviously at first, you don't have any witnesses, you don't have any suspects, so what happened in this community was very shocking and concerning to the residents.
In hopes of seeing who may have attacked Corey, investigators acquire surveillance footage from the Langley Federal Credit Union, where Kat believes Corey had gone to withdraw money.
The footage was very grainy, but it did show that Corey came to the ATM and he was attempting to withdraw money.
He attempted 3 times to withdraw money.
We actually pulled the ATM. That came back insufficient funds. Same thing with $40, same thing with $20.
The video shows Corey returning to his truck. Moments later, Corey is taken by surprise.
On the surveillance video of the bank, you see an unknown individual dressed in all black enter Corey's truck from the passenger side and point a weapon at him. The view was somewhat obstructed and blocked to further identify that person.
You see the car drive away, based on the location where Corey's vehicle was found, adjacent to the bank, that they just pulled off, and then Corey was shot and killed in his vehicle.
Based on the limited number of facts known at the time, it was a consideration that this individual is trying to commit a robbery, hoping to get an amount of money, and then gets angered because they don't get any money.
The more detectives consider this theory, the more unlikely they find it.
People that are going to commit robbery, they want to do their business, get some sort of tangible thing from that person, whatever that might be, and leave and get out of there. This particular instance with the murder of Corey is overkill. So this seemed like it was something personal.
Investigators take a deep dive into Corey's life to see if they can identify any possible enemies.
In talking with Corey's executive officer and other individuals that worked with him on the ship and in the Navy, no one had anything bad to say about Corey.
When investigators circle back to Corey's bereaved widow, she too struggles to identify a motive.
So no indication that there was anything amiss at home. It all seemed that he had a good marriage with Kat. His family life seemed normal.
Authorities were stumped as to who might want to harm Corey Voss. He was so well loved. They were going on not knowing where to turn next.
Then, within 24 hours of Corey's death, a phone call comes in that offers up hope.
The turning point in the investigation is when Newport News Police Department receives a call on their tip line.
They find out Cat Voss was having affairs with men while Corey was deployed.
Coming up, the caller reveals the depths of Kat's deception.
Upstairs.
And sinister desires come to the surface.
He wanted to have Corey's life. He wanted to be Corey.
Hours after 30-year-old naval officer and father of two Corey Voss was found shot to death in a small parking lot, investigators have yet to identify a suspect in his murder.
They interviewed his colleagues on the ship, his friends, his family, and from all intents and purposes, it seemed like Corey had no enemies. He was a great guy, which made it very difficult to figure out who wanted Corey Voss dead.
Then, on April 30th, a tip line set up by the municipal and federal task force investigating Corey's death yields a promising lead.
There was a call that came in, and the individual indicated that the police need to take a closer look at Kat.
That person was one of Cat Voss's best friends. She had spent a lot of time with her and had a lot of knowledge on the inner workings of Cat Voss's life. As soon as she saw news footage that morning of a truck with a murdered Corey Voss in it, she knew to call the authorities.
Kat's longtime friend Ashley Doyle arrives at the Newport News Police Department, ready for an interview.
They would learn from Ashley Doyle that Kat was still a party girl. It didn't matter that she had two children at home.
Kat was an individual who craved attention, and certainly from men. She loved the fact that when Corey was gone and he was deployed, that she had the freedom to go out.
Cat Voss was bringing men home on a regular basis while her children were asleep upstairs to have any number of sexual affairs.
Ashley reveals that Kat had a unique tactic when it came to attracting the opposite sex.
Ashley, disclosed that she would often be at the bars portraying a Ukrainian accent.
But according to Ashley, Kat wasn't even born there.
She was born and grew up in Newport News, Virginia.
It was just a way for her to seem exotic and seem cool or seem different. She liked the idea of being from somewhere else, so she tried to play that part.
Kat even told Corey's family that she was from Ukraine, She spoke with an accent all the time. We're starting to see Kat is a very selfish person and looked out for herself at the expense.
Ashley says in late 2006, during Corey's deployment several months before his murder, Kat began a full-blown relationship with a man she met online, Michael Draven.
Kat had met an individual on MySpace by the name of Michael Draven, who was essentially her boyfriend.
Investigators find Michael Draven has a robust online presence.
His MySpace account talks about how he has all this money. He's a famous photographer, filmmaker.
He put forth a fascinating profile. Eyeliner, fedora, movie maker, making six figures in a really lovely home. He seemed to be an up-and-coming photographer and really a mover and shaker in the world.
But as investigators dig deeper, they find that, like Kat, Michael also enjoyed pretending to be someone he wasn't.
Michael Draven is not his real name.
Michael Draven was none of the things that he said he was. His name was Anthony Neff.
He lived with his mother in Newport News, Virginia, and to earn money, he delivered papers. So he didn't have the successful filmmaking career as he portrayed himself to having. We learned through his family he had actually changed his name to Michael Draven to mirror the character out of the movie The Crow.
Michael Draven and Cat Voss were a perfect match because neither of them were real people. They were both people who had giant outsized imaginations of who they actually were in life.
But the biggest red flag comes when investigators look at Michael's social media posts in the days following Corey's death.
Draven was actually posting photos of Kat and Corey's children, indicating that they were his children.
Michael Draven wanted to be Corey. He wanted to have Corey's life and be involved with Kat and the children, just like as if he were her husband and he was their father.
Did Michael go so far in his desire to be Corey to actually kill? And was Kat pulling the strings? Investigators decide to take a look at Kat's financial records.
Kat is the spouse of the next of kin. Corey, upon his death, pretty immediately received the $100,000 death benefit from the military. That's, normally paid out fairly quickly.
While the case stalls, detectives keep a close watch on Kat's accounts. And in the 3 months following Corey's murder, they notice her spending has spiraled out
of money. She went on a trip to the Outer Banks of North Carolina with Michael Draven and with the children, spending money at the hotel, restaurants, jewelry, clothing.
She put Draven up in an apartment and paid the rent for this apartment so that he was able to move out of the trailer with his mom.
Kat had blown through that money in about 3 months. The entire $100,000 she had blown.
Kat was initially due an additional $400,000 from Corey's life insurance policy. However, before she could receive the full amount, she had to be cleared of any involvement or any wrongdoing related to the death of Corey.
Unbeknownst to her, the detectives had put a hold on her money because she was under investigation. Now, Kat did not know that at the time, and she was obviously getting very upset because she wasn't getting the rest of her money.
Kat was sending emails to the insurance company discussing about how difficult it was for her psychologically, emotionally, that she was unable to pay her bills. Obviously, receiving this money and how quickly she burned through the money and what she was spending it on was a clue to us that perhaps the motive for this killing was money.
Investigators have plenty of suspicions, but what they need is proof. They place wiretaps on both Kat and Michael's cell phones. The move works. The couple begins communicating almost non-stop.
They're speaking to each other constantly. It's very clear, though, that they're nervous and very scared of what's going to happen next.
He wants more money.
More money?
turning up. Investigators close in on a new suspect.
Said that you and David was talking.
All of us just gasped because it was a surreal moment. You don't get this every day.
And when investigators confront Michael Draven, his loyalty to Kat will be tested.
And you could not do that. No, I can't tell a person.
In the months after the murder of U.S. Navy Ensign Corey Voss, investigators are squarely focused on his wife Kat and her lover Michael Draven.
So we had wiretaps on Draven and Kat's cell phones and home phones. The whole point of the wiretap was to try to elicit relationship, also determine if they talk about Corey's murder.
During the review of these conversations, Kat indicated that she had been talking to someone named David.
You and David was talking. You told him what's going on?
Yes, I did. He wanted my money.
More money?
So that led to who is this David and what is his involvement with this investigation?
Once that name was being said, we researched Draven's MySpace account and determined that he had a friend by the name of David Runyon.
What we learned about David Runyon was that he was back in the Army. At one point, he was a sharpshooter in the Army.
On December 11th, almost 8 months after Corey's murder, detectives make a bold move.
They staked out his home, and as soon as David Runyon left, they executed a search warrant.
Within that residence at the trailer, we located a backpack that belonged to David Runyon. And in that backpack, we found a handwritten shopping list. And on that list was a tarp, boots, a knife, and a black hooded sweatshirt.
That's very important because the individual that entered Corey's vehicle at the ATM at Langley Federal Credit Union was wearing all black.
We found a box of Winchester .357 ammunition. 5 rounds were missing from that box, which is important because there were 5 rounds fired at Corey Voss, and ultimately, that is what killed him.
After trailing David Runyon, officers pull him over and place him under arrest.
David was cooperative, seemingly unfazed by the traffic stop, didn't show any emotion to the police or to the agents that were there. We conducted the search of his vehicle at that time.
In the center console of the vehicle, underneath the compartment, we discovered a photograph of Kat and Draven, and we also discovered a map of the Tidewater, Virginia area.
The map offers the most damning clue.
What was important about this map was handwritten on the map, Corey's name. Also, Langley Federal Credit Union, and a description of Corey's car down to the part that his tailgate. When we found the map in the vehicle, all of us just gasped because it was a surreal moment. You don't get this every day.
27-year-old David is arrested on the spot and taken in for questioning.
You've got a map in the console of your truck, right, of Newport News, Virginia, right? And somewhere in here, you've got written Langley Federal Credit Union, 97 Gray Ford Ranger, hubcap missing, tailgate down, J. Morris Boulevard, Corey. Could you explain that for me?
I don't remember writing that.
You have a picture of Michael Draven and Kat Voss.
All we're asking you to do is confirm what we already know. We're asking you to tell us that Kat and Draven put you up to this.
They're gonna make you out to be a monster, man. You're gonna be a hired killer.
No matter how much pressure investigators exert, David remains unfazed.
Okay, it sounds like me. I need to get a lawyer.
Word of David's arrest has somehow made its way to Michael and Kat.
Wire was still up. We were still monitoring conversations between Kat and Draven. And at that point in time, they had learned that David had been arrested for Corey's murder, and Draven was completely agitated about this news and very distraught.
Once they begin their search for Michael, investigators don't have a hard time finding him.
Michael Draven was so despondent that people called in reporting seeing this man wandering around Newport News looking very upset and sad, potentially suicidal. And authorities were really worried at that point that Michael Draven would kill himself and that they wouldn't be able to question him. So they immediately went out looking for him.
They located him essentially roaming around on the street. And that's when they picked him up and transported him to the police station to interview him.
At the police station, Michael is ready to tell all and readily admits his involvement in the plan to kill Corey Voss. Michael tells them that back in January, Kat first brought up the idea of murdering Corey, and she wanted Michael to do it.
What did she ask you to do? She asked me to take him out. Well, what did that mean to you? Shoot him? Or strangle him? Or kill him? And you did not do that. No, I can't kill a person.
Michael Draven met Runyon at the hospital. They were both human guinea pigs. They would get, locked up for a week or two, get paid money to take these experimental drugs.
So Michael Draven asks David Runyon if he knew anybody that could kill somebody for him. David Runyon says he's happy to do it himself.
David Runyon's motivation was money, and he saw an opportunity, and when it presented himself, he jumped on it.
Once Michael Draven figures out that David Runyon is all in, the three start communicating, Kat, Michael, and David, to figure out a plan.
The plan was that, Kat would obviously create this ruse, so to speak, to send Corey to the Langley Federal Credit Union ATM on this particular night, around this particular time, and that she and Michael had coordinated with David to make it look like a robbery, and in fact, kill Corey.
Kat and David agree on the amount, the $20,000 that he's going to get for killing Corey Voss.
According to Michael, 9 days before the murder, Kat took one final step in preparation.
Kat had opened the account at the credit union prior to his death, setting up the location of the murder, just a couple of miles away from their home.
Coming up, the tables turn as now Kat is the one falling into a trap.
I'm so all over the place and I'm freaking out, okay? I'm trying to get you right now.
And faced with the truth, Kat bears all.
What was the idea?
For him to find someone to take Corey out.
In his confession on December 13th, 2007, Michael Draven admitted to participating in the murder-for-hire plot that claimed the life of Naval Officer Corey Voss. Michael says on the night of April 29th, 2007, Kat sent Corey out on an errand that she hoped he would never return from.
She sends him out to the ATM and asks him to withdraw money. He goes to the ATM like the dutiful husband doing what his wife had asked him to do.
But the bank account only had $5 in it, due to the fact that it was a minimum of $5 to open it, which is why when Corey was trying to withdraw the money from the ATM, he could not withdraw the money due to insufficient funds.
Investigators believe Kat purposely left insufficient funds in the account to give hired hitman David Runyon enough time to ambush Corey. Once in the truck, David ordered Corey to drive to a strip mall parking lot across the street.
When he pulls into the parking lot across the street from the ATM, he shoots Corey Voss 5 times.
Michael insists that he wasn't present for the murder, only the planning.
Draven was totally blindsided with love, with Kat, but I also believe that Kat controlled him.
Despite the recorded conversation about paying David Runyon, Michael claims they never gave him anything.
She never gave him anything. I never gave him anything.
Investigators are ready to arrest Kat, and they ask for Michael's help.
Newport News police had Draven call Kat from the police station and tell her that he had been questioned and he was being released, and that she needed to come and pick him up.
I'm so all over the place, and I'm freaking out, okay?
I'm trying to get you right now.
Cops were hiding and waiting for her to pull up, and as soon as she does, they take her into custody and bring her inside for an interrogation.
During the interview, detectives immediately notice Kat has dropped the Ukrainian accent, and without preamble, she places blame for the murder on Michael Draven.
I feel like I'm being pushed, and now I'm mad because I feel like it wasn't used.
Bill came up with an idea?
No, he came up with this idea.
What was the idea?
For him to find someone to take Corey out.
Investigators call her bluff.
You're a manipulative person.
No, I am not.
You manipulated everyone.
It was clear that she was not going to take 100% ownership of Corey's murder, and she was, in fact, deflecting the blame and indicating that it was not her idea.
By the time the case makes its way into the hands of prosecutors in 2008, they are determined to hold all 3 players accountable.
The crime was considered a federal one and not a local or a state one because of the fact that Corey Voss was a military member.
The feds initially wanted to get the death penalty against all 3 of them.
In case, and she wanted to take that off the table.
But it was up to the United States attorney in exchange for her pleading guilty. He gave Kat a life sentence.
Both Michael Draven and David Runyon went to trial. For Draven, he was found guilty and sentenced to life without parole. And David Runyon was sentenced to death.
With Kat's guilty plea, the motive that investigators suspected all along is confirmed.
She thought she was going to get away with this. She would come out with, $500,000 richer and be able to live her life with Michael Draven.
She sought to find men who would support her and her spending ways, but it was never enough. You could never have enough.
There is no doubt that Kat Voss was the driving force behind Corey's death. Clearly, she stopped at nothing to get what she wanted.
I feel like I just have nothing to say to my mom after what she did. I don't know if I would ever forgive her.
I want my dad to be remembered as someone who put family first and also worked at bettering themselves so that they could take care of, the legacy they have